digitalisation and the way in which the pandemic has shown where the future of shipping lies, and that is through the implementation of practical digital solutions. In a relatively short space of time, the industry's come a long way, but there is still some way to go. Recently, a group of shipping industry organisations, including BIMCO, called for the acceleration of digitalisation in maritime and logistics, in particular on areas like electronic bills of lading, and pointed out that just 49 of 174 IMO member states have port community systems. So while things will never go back to the way they were, there's still some way to go before we embed change and take full advantage of the digital solutions that are on offer.
Digitalization is a core part of their business and strategy, and very early they have invested in digital. Long time by starting even the first semi-automated port terminal in the region, and after that they have invested in Maqta Gateway in order to establish their digital arm. Now, this digital arm has started the first port community system in the UAE, following the international standards. And this have given us a lot of boost, and it became evidence that our investment and our decision from very early on were in the right place, not just because of the pandemic maybe accelerated our development, however, because of our response and our resilience during the pandemic. So for us, Clive in Abu Dhabi Port, what we have witnessed, that during the pandemic, we were among the first entities to go completely remotely online, working in all sectors across Abu Dhabi ports, not just in the digital, but also for the BTS, for the marine sector, for the port operation. We have managed to run the port from a very far distance. We were running Khalifa Port from Mina Zayed Port, and etc.
What we have seen is the positive impact of digitalization of COVID-19 across the industry have salvaged to a larger extent. So let me share one of our experiences. Today we have a class member on this panel, and that has kept the technology of the class. Advanced technology has played a vital role in keeping the vessel movement active in the current atmosphere. And what I mean by the active in the current atmosphere is basically, class accepting the digital proof or nullifying the recommendation and extension of the vessel certificates, kept the vessel seaworthy, So this technology in a way has helped us to remain afloat, We have taken over the vessel very recently, just about 3 weeks back in India, and we could absolutely manage this, without any people on board, whether it's from the technical team or from the class, So I think in this situation, the class has played a very, very important role, along with the flag. So we must see some more progress in terms of advancing this, so that there's very little interference or the physical attendance from the class, So this way, in such situation, we can keep moving, So I must sort of focus more on the class that has kept us, remain in this business during this COVID-19.
I think one key thing to realize is that to us this is not new. Every year we spend 5% of our annual revenue on R&D. And the thing is that out of this investment, we spend significant portion of them on digitalization initiatives, right? So like what the previous speaker, Anjan have mentioned, and that this investment really, now have reflected the importance of it. That, for example, we have this 24/7 direct access to technical expert, our date service, that moves, following the sun. And with that 24/7 support, we also can produce instantaneously e-certificate or electronic certificate that was mentioned. And that is not PDF file transmission. It's really on the cloud. In addition to that, we introduced the remote survey. But remote survey, we don't started recently. It was in 2018. And of that, Clive, just to share with you, we have something like 15,000 remote survey that we have done globally. So to us, this has become a norm. And with this COVID-19, it's, the demand for such digital services has accelerated definitely. And as the MBGL, we are more than ready to support the industry in this area.
So when the pandemic actually hit in March and we were requested to lock down and start working from home, there was no impact whatsoever. So we were totally fortunate that our operation continues to run smoothly with no impact. We have always connected remotely to our server and the systems are online and working fine. If anything, the only change that we have made was previously we used to use, I'm not making advertisement for anyone here, by the way. We used to use Skype, now we use MS Teams. That's the only difference we have changed. So other than that, it has been working perfectly.
It's the first time that we've actually conducted a closing meeting via video conference. And one of the notable things is that where documents used to have to be notarized, apostilled, that was initially not possible for a while in the UAE, then it became possible, but through digital technology. So the government here went online and actually put in that process. In the end, as an industry, we actually agreed with everybody that those certain documents didn't even require it because of the way we were going through legal opinions and the digital process. So there's been several changes in how we've operated on a day-to-day basis in the last couple of months. And again, it was quite good to have a ship closing through Zoom.
Well, what we have seen in the market, just at this stage, maybe mention 2 points. One is, as people don't sit together anymore, technical operations, finance, chartering, there has been a requirement for technology to help knowledge sharing, what we call tacit knowledge, what people know, and you can share that when you're in one big room. That wasn't necessarily possible anymore. So there's been a significant increase in interest in looking for platforms that help enable that. Another more practical example is getting cash on board, cash to master, right? Where in certain ports, this is not now forbidden because risks of notes being infected. So one of our solutions is e-wallet and CCM cards, which means that's actually been a huge and quick change from physical money on board ships to electronic delivery of money to masters and to crew.